Welcome to chapter 12.4. This section is about the wave equation. It's a second order linear differential equation, and now we are going to consider an example. This is the second example in my lecture notes, and here I consider the wave equation that is defined here. So basically we have partial squared u over partial t squared equals to 1 times partial squared u over partial x squared, and my domain goes from 0 to 1. So that is the length of the interval, and in order to solve this wave equation, we have two boundary conditions and two initial conditions. So basically the boundary condition says, so we have fixed our endpoints. So that is why this unknown u equals to 0 at the left endpoint and the unknown u equals to 0 at the right endpoint. And we have two initial conditions because this is second order in time, so we need two initial conditions. One initial condition says when time t equals to 0, the profile of the wave equals to sin pi x, and then the second initial condition says when time t equals to 0, the initial velocity of the wave equals to 0. So if you think about this picture, here we have two fixed endpoints, and then this is the profile of the wave, and our goal is to solve for this unknown u. Okay. This should be x equals 0, and this should be x equals 1. Now let us solve this one. Again we are going to use the same technique as before. We are going to use the separation of variable technique. So in this technique what we do is we assumed our unknown function u of x comma t can be expressed as a product of two functions. One function contains only the x variable and the other one contains only the t variable. Now next what we do is we substitute this expression into the partial differential equation, and if we do that you will get, so we have the left hand side we have partial squared over partial t squared of, let us say, big X and big T equals to partial squared over partial x squared of u, which is xt. Okay, so remember this function big X contains only the x variable. Therefore, with respect to the t variable, we can treat big X function as a constant, and we can pull out a constant from the derivative part. If you do that, you will get x times t double dot equals to, we are going to use the same trick here, big T of t is a function of t variable only, then we have t times x double dot. The next step is to take all the, let us say, the functions that depends on t into one side and the functions that depends on the x variable into the other side. So to do that, what I will do is I will divide both sides by this product big X and big T. If you do that, you should get t double dot over t equals to x double dot over x. Okay. Now as you can see in the left hand side, I have a function that depends only on the t variable. In the right hand side we have a function that depends only on the x variable, and our equation says the function that depends on the t variable equals to the function that depends on the x variable. This happens if this ratio is a constant. So in fact these two ratios must be the same constant, and let us say that constant is negative lambda. Okay. Now from this we can get two equations. We have t double dot over t equals to negative lambda and x double dot over x big X double dot over big X equals to negative lambda. Okay, now if you simplify this, you will get a second order equation for the t variable. We have t double dot plus lambda t equals to 0 and x double dot plus lambda x equals to 0. Okay. So, let us say this is equation 1 and this is equation 2. Okay. So, next what we do is we are going to solve these two equations for possible lambda values, and as you know, we have three possibilities for this constant lambda. Lambda can be 0, lambda can be a negative number, or lambda can be a positive number. Now, before we solve these two equations, let us find the corresponding boundary conditions for the big X variable. Okay, so, u equals to big X times big T. Now, if you think about this first boundary condition, you have u of 0 comma t equals to 0. So, this means big X at x equals 0 should be 0. Similarly, when x equals 1, again your unknown u is 0. It is the second boundary condition. So, if you evaluate this product at x equals 1, you should get big X at 1 equals to 0 as well. So, here we have the two boundary conditions for the big X variable. Okay, so, next we are going to solve this the second order constant coefficient differential equation with respect to three lambda values.